What's going on, guys? My name is Jake and welcome back to Gax Reviews, and today I'm going to bring you guys my top 10 most anticipated films of 2021. A couple days ago I got you my top 10 most anticipated films that have been delayed from 2020 to 2021, and if you're wondering where the rest of the films are, these are them here. Now, as we stand today, films are going to get delayed. As we know, there is so much coming out next year that there is almost no chance that all these films come out. So as of now, these are my most anticipated films of 2021. And before we get started, I want you guys in that comment section below, which of these movies are you most excited for? Is there any that I left off? Any that you're excited for? Let's get a conversation going. And let's start right here with my number 10. Coming in at number 10, we have Is Malcolm and Marie. And if you don't know what this movie is, because I feel like a lot of people probably won't know what this is actually written and directed by Sam Levinson, who is the showrunner of Euphoria. And I think Euphoria is one of the best TV shows out there right now on HBO. It's such a good show at tackling so many issues progressively. Just so the way they handle everything is so well done. Take note, 13 Reasons Why. And I love what he's been able to do and getting the performances he's been able to get with Zendaya, who's also in this film. So I'm excited for that partnership to be back here again. And as well, John David Washington is in this movie, and it seems like a very Sam Levinson-driven movie. It's about a couple coming back from a world premiere of a film, and they're testing their relationship, testing their boundaries of love. That all sounds thought-provoking. That all sounds heartbreaking. All the good tools in Sam Levinson's book to make a good movie. So I'm excited to check this one out. This comes in at my number 10. Coming in at my number 9 is The Last Duel. And Ridley Scott has been an interesting name because he has not been able to fully capture his magic of his previous films. But I think if there's a film to do it, this is a historical film, it's going to be this one. You look at the cast in here, you got Adam Driver, first of all, and then you got Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, who that pairing, if you don't remember, did Good Will Hunting, who also wrote that. They're also writing The Last Duel. So you can't not be excited for this. I hope that this fully captures what Ridley Scott has been able to do, because we've been missing that recently. The Martian was his last good movie. That was over 5 years ago now. So I'm looking forward for a brand new Ridley Scott film, and I think if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be this one. This comes in at my number 9. Coming in at my number 8 is the newest Pixar film, Luca, which I'm going to read you a little bit about this plot because it's a little strange. Luca centers around a young boy living on the Italian Riviera who shares adventures with his newfound best friend, but a dark secret about his true identity. He is a sea monster from another world just below the water surface, seeks to threaten that bond. Yeah, what is that plot? I love that they're going to be exploring the Italian Riviera. That sounds so fun, and I'm half Italian, so I'm really excited to see what they're able to do that and put that in animation form. But we know Pixar, how many times have they been able to take a really strange premise and turn it into a beautiful and heartbreaking, heart-wrenching story? And I feel like a relationship between two friends, we saw it earlier with Onward, with this year with the brothers. I think that it's just going to be handled so well, and I trust Pixar to do whatever they want to do. So I'm excited for this one. This comes in at my number 8. Coming in at my number 7 is nostalgia-filled Space Jam: A New Legacy. And I think Space Jam is one of the weirdest movies ever made. Just the pairing of Michael Jordan and the Looney Tunes should not work, but I hold so much nostalgia for all of those characters and for that film in general that you can't help but love it. And the idea of a sequel has been thrown around for years now, decades, 2 decades now at least. And we're finally getting it. And with LeBron James. And as much as I don't like LeBron James as a basketball player, I'm a Toronto Raptors fan. That should tell you why I don't like LeBron James. I think that he has a lot of energy and charisma, and I think he's a perfect replacement for Michael Jordan. The thing that's kind of weird is that we're getting like a lot of cameos from other Warner Brothers properties. We're supposed to be getting the Joker in here. We're supposed to be getting Pennywise. We're supposed to be getting the Mask. I don't know how they're going to do that. I'm worried that this might be a little bit overstuffed and kind of just trying to fill fan service 24/7, which I'm not excited for if that's the case, but I could go either both ways. It could be a really good, really fun, nostalgia-filled film, or it could be completely crap. Regardless, I'm excited to see the Looney Tunes back on the big screen. I love all of those characters so much. We haven't seen them on there since Back in Action, which is not a good movie, so I'm excited to see them back on the big screen. That comes in at my number 7. Coming in at number 6, we have Encanto, which I talked about this a little bit earlier on my top 10 for Disney Investors Day. So if you haven't checked that out, you can check the top right corner. There'll be a link there. And I'm just excited to see more Lin-Manuel Miranda written music, man. I love his music. I think every single film that he's done for Disney with his music has been incredible. Moana especially being the standout. And I'm excited for this to be Disney's 60th animated film. And that's crazy. It's going to be an original film. It looks at different cultures, which I love, and I just think it's going to be the recipe for a great film. So Encanto comes in at my number 6. Coming in at my number 5, hesitantly, is The Matrix 4. I think this is going to be the movie that is going to be either so divisive or just won over, because Keanu has rejuvenated his career recently. So it makes sense that they're trying to go back to this franchise. But we all know that this is a franchise that struggled after the first movie. So I don't know where they're going to go from here. I think that The Matrix in an updated CGI, updated world is really exciting, because I think that it's going to look incredible. But the Wachowskis are not the directors they once were in The Matrix. So I don't know how this film is going to come off. It's got a lot of the returning cast. And I just don't know where this is going to go. We don't know much, but it's enough for me as someone who loves the first film to put this at my number 5, because I love Keanu. I'm hesitant, but seeing all like upgraded bullet time on 2021 CGI is exciting to me. So that alone puts it at my number 5 hesitantly, but I'm excited for The Matrix 4. Coming in at my number 4 spot is Babylon, and this is the newest Damien Chazelle film. And if anyone knows me, they know that I love Damien Chazelle. He's one of my favorite directors working out there right now. La La Land and Whiplash, 2 of my favorite films of all time, and I really enjoy First Man. So I'm excited to see him back behind the camera again in a directing film, not on the Eddie, because why is that a show? So I'm excited to see this. The plot is very interesting. I feel like it's going to kind of be similar to Mank in a sense that it follows an old era of time, the 1920s, the transition between the transition from silent films to sound films. I think that's really cool. That's really interesting. That's a really fascinating era of film to talk about. The thing that I'm a little upset about is that Emma Stone was attached to this film, but she hasn't reportedly dropped out. But the talks of Margot Robbie being the replacement is just as good, if not better, and Brad Pitt being in this film too. Both of them, of course, were in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I'm excited to see this movie, and I'm excited to see Damien Chazelle back behind that camera. That comes in at my number 4. Coming in at my number 3, we're probably going to get into the blockbusters now, so if you don't like blockbusters, I'm sorry. Number 3 is Mission Impossible 7, and I don't know what I can say about this franchise that has not been said already. This is a franchise that has gone so much better, so much bigger, so much bolder since it's took in a change of direction in the 4th film, and I love these movies to death. I think Fallout is one of the most stunning displays of practical effects I've ever seen. Just some of those sequences blew my mind, and the fact that they were all so fun and engaging in different ways too. And Tom Cruise is a madman. We all know that he's willing to risk his life to get all this stuff done. I love that movie. It's got endless rewatchability, so I'm excited to see how they continue this off. The story I actually think is pretty fun, and I am interested in how they're doing it, because they're weaving it kind of like a James Bond like storyline so far, and it's really interesting, and I just want to see those big stunts back on IMAX again, so I'm excited that comes in at my number 3. Coming in at number 2 is The Suicide Squad, and while I hate that first movie so much, the thing that puts this over is the fact that James Gunn is directing and writing it, and everything that we have seen from this so far seems like a step in the right direction, and it seems more like it's a thriller than anything, kind of, is how they've described it. It seems really interesting. The cast, obviously, John Cena as Peacemaker, come on. Like, how are you not excited to see that? He's getting his own spin-off TV show, too. I love James Gunn. What you saw, what he was able to do with Guardians of the Galaxy, so I have no hesitation that he's going to make all of these wacky and zany characters interesting and kill them off one by one, because they described this as like a gauntlet of deaths, and we don't get too attached to these characters. So I'm interested to see how they're going to handle all of that. And I think that the DC Extended Universe, when they're able to hone in on individual stories that don't so much try to follow a narrative progression and kind of just do their own thing, like a weaving narrative between all the movies, I like that. And I think that this is going to be a surprise film of the year. I'm super excited for this. That comes in at my number 2. And finally, coming in at my number 1 spot is Spider-Man 3. Yeah, so this thing's kind of just boosted up my rankings recently. I think if you're living under a rock and you don't know the news that this is supposed to be in the multiverse, and we know that with WandaVision and Doctor Strange, they're going to be doing a multiverse storyline, and we started getting hints of that when we saw Jamie Foxx's Electro is coming back in this movie. Alfred Molina is coming back as Dr. Octopus, and oh wait, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are in talks to also return to this thing. What? And by that thing behind me, you know I'm a fan of the multiverse, so I don't know how they're going to handle it with all these moving parts. Emma Stone's supposed to come back. All of these people are supposed to come back, and that sounds like it could be the greatest thing in the world, the most fan-filled thing that they're ever going to make, or it could be terrible. But I have faith in the MCU, and this hopefully still puts a focus on Tom Holland's story, because one of the things that I don't love about Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies are the fact that he's been slightly undershined in almost every single movie. The first one, Iron Man didn't overshine him, but I want his own movie. I don't want there to be a focus on other characters. However, if this is a one-time multiverse shenanigans thing, I'm all for it, because seeing all three Spider-Mans, the most nostalgic Spider-Man, the best quippy Spider-Man in Andrew Garfield, and then the best blend of Peter Parker and Spider-Man in Tom Holland, all back on the screen together, that is a childhood dream of mine, and I will cry if that actually ends up happening. So I'm pumped. I can't wait to see a first look at a trailer. We're supposed to be getting a trailer sometime soon. I'm excited, guys. That is my number one most anticipated film of 2021. Did I leave any out? What film are you most looking forward to? Let me know in the comment section below. And that about wraps up for this video. If you guys did enjoy, if you could hit that like button and subscribe for more. Got tons more top 10s for you guys, so don't worry about that. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.